Virginia, Washington area.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Boston area. He wanted to participate tonight. You know what he did?
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
He's giving each and every one of you a $10 mobile gas card. Very nice. So thank you. Did we miss anybody?
Yeah, didn't get one, let me know. I've got one.
Thank you. Well, what do you think? Do you think Wayne did a nice job for us tonight? Next on our agenda is smart shopping. How many of you have heard of AutoTrader? Then Matthew is doing his job, all right? That's good. So this is Matt O'Leary. Matt has been with AutoTrader for 12 years. He covers the district that we are in. How many dealers do you represent?
I've got 30 dealers throughout New Hampshire and Maine.
Okay. So he's a busy guy. And fortunately for him and for us, he brought his lovely wife Laurie and his daughter Mackenzie. So how many, that's a nice team effect. Is this your first time up here, Mackenzie and Laurie?
Yes.
All right. It is much prettier in June, July. This is probably about the most unattractive time of the year for us up here in the Lakes region, but believe me, it's beautiful when the weather improves. We still haven't had ice out. We still have lots of ice. But what Matt's going to share with us today is information about a buying process. I mean, an AutoTrader is an excellent source to use, but the whole idea of this is really the transparency of what's out there for you. And there's a lot of information out there, but we don't always know what we have. So it is important to have a process so it doesn't become overwhelming nor confusing. Matt's really a guru in handling a computer and the systems and understanding the mechanics of it. Not just the computer, but really the whole dynamics of, if I've got a problem and a picture's not showing on the vehicle, it's dropped off, or something's wrong with it, he can go back in the back of what's going on, the background of what's going on, and correct problems with a phone call, and it's handled quickly and promptly. So we don't see a lot of that background, but Matt knows the background, but he also knows what's out there for retail and for the consumer. And today, this is why he's with us tonight, to share the smart choices in shopping. Please give Matt a warm welcome.
Well, so as Betty was saying, I work for AutoTrader, and we also partnered with Kelley Blue Book. How many of you have heard of Kelley Blue Book? Yeah, they've been around for a long time, very long time. So, wanted to go through some of the tools that there are available out there. I just have to turn this on real quick. We've got a lot of different applications, tools, and information that you can use during your shopping process. So I just want to go through that real quick with you. Lovely assistant, next slide. So AutoTrader, they've been around since 1998. They actually started off as a company called AutoConnect, and then quickly after that changed the name to AutoTrader. We've got about, this says 3 million, but there's probably about 4 million vehicles on AutoTrader right now. Huge selection of inventory from 40,000 dealers and 250,000 private sellers. So we have a lot of people that are selling the cars privately on AutoTrader as well. And the mission statement at AutoTrader is to be the ultimate online solution for buying and selling new, certified, and used cars. Our site is designed to give you more control of the buying process and make finding a vehicle easier than ever before, and we've done that. As well as Kelley Blue Book. So again, like I said, AutoTrader is now partnered with Kelley Blue Book. We're now owned by the same parent company. They've been in business for 89 years. So, very long time in the industry. They know what they're doing. Very trusted source. They only recently started advertising a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. And so to hear that everybody knows the name without any advertising, it's great to hear that. That's a great trusted name. It's a great, strong brand. The founder was Les Kelly. Lovely assistant. Next slide. Now, I'm not going to read all this to you, but if you go on the Kelley Blue Book page, there's a part on there that gives a whole history of Kelley Blue Book. It's actually kind of interesting, but one of the things I wanted to bring out was just how it started. So in the early 20s, Les Kelley was distributing to dealers a list of vehicles that he wanted. He started off very small, young guy. He was only about, I'm trying to think, he was maybe 20-something years old at that point. And so he started off just selling a couple cars here and there, and he would distribute a list of dealers, a list of cars that he wanted to buy to different dealers. And he'd say, okay, I want this car, and this is what I'm willing to pay for it. And as his used car business grew, and as he distributed that article, or that list out to more dealers and banks, they started using that list. And that became the trusted guide as to what you can buy and sell vehicles for. So, so that was the very small start to how Kelley Blue Book began. Next slide. And this is what it looked like at first. This is the original list. And these were the vehicles that he wanted there. Not very many on there, right? So today we have thousands of vehicles, hundreds of vehicles in the market, all different kinds of combinations. But this is the beginning list way back in the 20s. And then he would certify prices, and then as it grew, he began publishing a book, which was awesome. And this little book and distributed, same thing, distributed to dealers and to banks alike. So next slide. Now, this I thought was interesting. So let's see. Going back into the 1920s, the only color available for cars at the time was what? Black. That's all you could get. There was nothing else. And the running joke was Henry Ford said, you can buy any color Model T you want as long as it's black. So not much in the way of options there. So in Les Kelley's used car dealership, he hired his brother Buster, this guy here, to run it. And they had a lot guy one day say, all right, I'm painting this car. What do you say I paint it pink? Are you cool with that? Are you cool with that? Can I paint it pink? And Buster Kelley kind of hemmed and hawed and said eventually, okay, I'll let you paint it pink, but if it doesn't sell, we're going to have to paint it back to black. And they agreed to it. And so they painted it pink, put it in the showroom, and it sold immediately. So they started doing that to every car that was in the lot or in the service department, and they all sold. Their sales soared after painting cars pink. So that was kind of another new thing that he introduced to the market was pink cars.
Do you think it was a woman buyer, Matt?
Yeah.
I don't know the demographic on it, but I would imagine.
It was the first pink car buyer.
Well, the reason why I tell you that. Next slide. Does anybody remember this car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I owned that car. I hate to say it, but this was back in 1997. There was no AutoTrader. Kelley Blue Book was just a used car price guide, right? Not a whole lot on there as far as research, but I got taken for a ride, right? I went to a used car. I went to probably, I had saved all my money from digging ditches, mowing lawns, whatever, and I went to go buy a car. And I went to probably 10, 15 dealerships looking for a car at the time. That's a lot of dealerships. You guys remember going to that many dealerships, kicking tires and talking to salespeople for days? So this was towards the end of my shopping process. I went in on another car, and the used car manager flipped me onto this one. And he goes, I'll give you a paint job on that one as long as you buy it. It's been sitting here forever. I'll give you a good deal. Spent all my money on it. I went back a week later to take him up on his offer to paint the car, and he was gone. So I'm stuck with a pink car, and you know what? I owned it. I owned it. Literally and figuratively, I owned it. So the reason why I tell you that, next story, next slide. We've, just as our mission statement said, we're drastically changing the way people buy and sell cars. So if you look up here, it says car buyers are doing more of their own legwork online and spending less time in dealerships. Fewer dealership visits. Average buyer visits just 1.6 dealerships while car shopping, down from 10 years ago when buyers visited an average of 5 dealerships. That's just 10 years ago. People were visiting 5 dealerships. So now we're spending all this time online doing research. We don't have to go to 5, 10 different dealerships. dealerships. There's a lot of wasted time there that we don't know what we have to do. So we did a study about shoppers. In 2011, shoppers spent about 17 and a half hours total time shopping. Almost 7 hours of it was offline. That's in dealerships looking at cars. Almost 11 hours was online. Flash forward to 2014, we've dropped 2 hours in the shopping process, the whole process overall. We've cut the amount of time in dealerships in half. This is just 3 years later. We've actually went up from 10, almost 11 hours to 12 hours. So more of the time is being spent online, but you're cutting the process short by not having to go to so many dealerships. You do all your shopping online now. So go ahead and do the next slide. So when you start that shopping process, there's a few questions that you need to ask. What car should I buy? How much does it cost to own? Because it's not just the initial cost, there's cost after the fact as well. How much should I pay? How much is my current car worth in trade? So if you got another vehicle that you need to dispose of, how do you get rid of it? How much is that worth? And then on the AutoTrader side, we're going to go over, now that you've found the car and you've done the research on Kelley Blue Book, let's find the car on AutoTrader. So go ahead and go next slide. So here's what Kelley Blue Book looks like. This is a toolbar at the top of the web page when you go to it. And under car reviews, we have KBB expert reviews, consumer reviews, and safety and quality ratings. And you can click on that and go to any vehicle and read the ratings, read the expert reviews on that. So does anybody have a car? Is anybody in the market for a car? Have you done any research online? Do you know an idea of what car you're looking at? It's not out yet? I need somebody that has a car that they're interested in buying. What truck is he interested in? F-250 Ford?
150.
F-150. Okay, nice truck. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this link. We're going to look at the new car buying guide on Kelley Blue Book. Okay, so it breaks it down. Once you go to Kelley Blue Book and you go into car reviews, you can look at the new car buying guide. So scroll on down, Lori, and we're going to look for trucks. We've got small SUVs, we've got minivans, we've got luxury cars, pickup trucks. There we go. Go to the guide. Alright, so keep scrolling down. We got some videos that we can watch, and then we have all the different models out here. So we're going to look at 2015 Ford F-150.
Good choice, Matt.
What's that?
Good choice.
Oh yeah. So now we've got a Ford F-150 video. We're not going to watch that right now, because it's 8 minutes long, I think it's but then we go right into all the reviews about this. There's a full review. Go ahead, Lori, click on this. So you can read up on the vehicle. You can go to the full reviews. I really like this full review here. Go ahead and scroll down. So you can see how it ranks as far as pickups in this market. It's ranked number 5 out of 10 for fuel economy, number 4 out of 10 for horsepower. Consumer ratings, 10 out of 10. It's a good consumer rating. I love the truck. And then it gives, let's see, let's scroll down a little bit more. What you might like, what you might not like about this car, right? So these are expert reviews. They've looked at all different pickups in the market, and they've said what they like about this vehicle, what's maybe not something that people would like about it.
Garage.
Big truck, right? Go ahead and keep scrolling down. Driving impressions, favorite features, things that they really love about this car, and then more details about the cab of the truck, what that's like. So you can really get a view online without even stepping into the truck of what you're going to like and what you're not going to like. And keep going down. So we got exterior, notable equipment, cool new options and stuff. Under the hood, it tells you what's driving, what's powering that truck, and then pricing notes. So there's a lot of information that you can get into in here.
Does it give you a price range?
We're going to get into that. Yeah, you're jumping ahead. Or next one, please. Next slide. Alt tab. Okay, this one. So we've also recently added something called a 5-year cost to own. So like I was saying, it's not just the initial cost, you've also got the cost after the fact. So you've got fuel, insurance, repairs, maintenance, financing, state fees, and after you've added all that up after 5 years of owning it, there's also depreciation. So this vehicle is an asset, and every vehicle, just about, there's very few in the market, is a depreciating asset to some effect, some more than others. So we're going to add all that up, plus the depreciation over 5 years, and that's how we come up with our cost to own. So, Laura, go ahead and click on there. I'll take you right to, go back one. Click in here somewhere. All right, so we're going to go after the web page. We're going to actually do this with an F-150. Let's see what the 5-year cost to own is. Tell you what, let's watch this video. Go ahead and expand that video. This kind of explains what the 5-year cost to own is all about.
Let's say you're in the market to buy a new car. You've done some research and narrowed your list to 2. Naturally, you'll want to know how much they cost to buy, but it's probably even more important to know how much each will cost to own. Remember, owning and operating a car means paying for things like fuel, insurance, state fees, financing, maintenance, and repairs. And when you sell it or trade it in, you'll have to deal with another expense, and it's a big one: depreciation. That's the difference between what you paid for the car and what it's worth when you sell it. Perhaps more than any other expense, depreciation is worthy of your attention because it grows quietly, only revealing itself once you sell your car. Add it all up, and the cheapest car to buy may not be the cheapest car to own. In many cases, it isn't. Knowing the difference can help save you serious money, like thousands of dollars over the time you own your car. It's complicated, but the good news is we at Kelley Blue Book have the data and analysis to help you simply and effectively sort through this often overlooked area of car ownership. Here's the big upside. When you consider overall ownership costs, we do it on a 5-year basis, the length many people keep their new car, you might find that the cool car you really want is going to be less expensive than another choice you're less excited about. There's no doubt it pays to understand the real cost of ownership, and Kelley Blue Book is happy to help you do just that. With more than 85 years in the car business, access to vast amounts of data, and the expertise needed to understand it, you know you're getting the best information from the best possible source.
So that kind of describes what goes into the 5-year cost to own. And like I was saying, the car that you thought was the car that you wanted, based on the price, may not be the one that overall is not the best value. So let's actually look at it. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to go and look at, keep going down, we're going to look at mid-size pickup? No, it would be full-size, right? F-150 is full-size. All right, so we've got the major players in the market, right? Actually, I'm not seeing F-150. Cost is probably not within the top 5 right now. So what we can do is let's go to compare your own truck. Yep, and we're going to do Ford. F-150, we're going to do, let's do Super Crew, why not? Let's go all the way out. And then we're going to do, we'll change the engine. Go ahead and click that to, no, leave it. All right, go ahead and do that, and hit OK. What did it say? Yeah.
Oh, you gotta get
Go
rid
ahead
of
and take one of these out. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead and hit it. There we go. All right. So this is a breakdown of the cost to own for the F-150. We got fuel costs over 5 years, insurance, financing, state fees, maintenance, repairs, and then depreciation over those 5 years. Total cost to own is $39,621. So we've also got reviews, consumer reviews. This one doesn't have professional reviews off of Kelley Blue Book yet. Let's look at.
Why would it be not applicable?
We just don't have the data on it right now. Yeah, we probably just haven't done that review yet.
15 hasn't been out, 15 F-150 has not been out for very long, so
Yeah.
sorry, not enough data.
So, desirable car right now, hasn't been out long, everybody wants it, right? So that affects the cost. So maybe, you know, that purchase price that goes into it in the beginning, it's worth a little bit more because it's a hot car. Everybody wants that thing right now. So you might not be getting the manufacturer rebates that other cars are getting. 14s, dealers are trying to get off their lots right now, so they're offering a little bit better rebates on those. So 15, it could be why 15 wasn't in that top 5 there. So let's look at, well, we know what our 5-year cost to own is. Let's look at what we should pay for this vehicle. What's the purchase price for the vehicle? So we're going to go to the next slide.